Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-Minute Reedmaker. If you're watching this on YouTube, would you go ahead and click subscribe for me? And that way you'll always know when I drop a new episode. And it'll make it easier for other people to find this channel and become better reedmakers and happier musicians. So thank you so much. A lot of reed problems that we face are problems that only we have to know about. And really, as oboists, we like that. We keep things very quiet and concealed. And the more advanced we are, the less anybody outside of our own bodies knows what's going on with our reed, right? We cover, we work to neutralize the resistance, we tongue a little harder if we need to, we control a little more if we need to, and the instability or the sharpness or the flatness or the kind of not great sound or the slightly weird resistance, all of that stuff can be invisible to the people around us if we just cover it up. And that's what we do as professionals. No one needs to know the dirty little secrets of our reed making or our reed inadequacies. But what do you do when you have a reed problem that can't be concealed invisibly? So Anne Sexton, the poet, says, it's said that love in a cough cannot be concealed, which, I love that, right? Because it's always exposed. But I've had clients and students really be anxious about making changes to their reeds, making repairs to their reeds that other people will be able to see, that might be visible to the naked eye, that might have other oboists in their section side-eyeing them and noticing. There's a fear of judgment around having visible repairs done to your reed. And of course, I find that funny, and I find it endearing. And I figure the reed is for you, right? All you're trying to do here is make music. It doesn't matter what it looks like inside your mouth. It doesn't matter what it looks like even in your hands. We don't make reeds to look at, we make reeds to play on. So I thought I would take two of my own personal reeds right now and visibly repair them in front of you, to dispel the shame. Dispel the shame? To make visible the shameful little secrets that sometimes we oboists try to cover up and hide. So I have two reeds here. And they're both excellent. I've been practicing on them. I really like them, actually. But this one, the thread has started to get really loose. You can see how jiggly it is down here. And I've slathered this thing with nail polish, trying to just hold it together. And so far, it's holding up here, but it is not holding down here. This is very risky and dangerous, and I don't trust it. And I could just slap some more clear nail polish on to keep the problem hidden and pretend that it's not happening. But I'm not convinced that that will actually work. So what I'm going to actually do is retie it a little bit. Let's see what that might look like. So I've got my vibrant yellow thread here and my delicate muted lavender reed. And I'm just going to start sort of here-ish. And I'm going to go ahead and wind up to the top. Now, I'm not trying to change anything about this, the way this purple reed seals at the top, the way it functions up here. So I actually don't want to go past where I wound before. I just want to make a nice covering. And look, I don't care if it's perfectly even, perfectly straight. I'm just kind of slapping thread on here and pulling it nice and snug. And then I'm going to do some nice solid knots at the bottom. And although this looks ridiculous, I feel optimistic that having another layer of thread on here will actually will actually keep this reed from unraveling and falling apart in my mouth And it looks kind of cool too. It's not great. That's not an elegant reed. I wouldn't sell one that looked like that. But I'm pretty confident that I can play it. So that's ugly fix number 1. And here's ugly reed number 2. This reed, I actually quite like it. I've been practicing on it. It's totally fine, except that it has some leaks down here, and it also has a little bit of leakage up here, which means that if I like roll out and if I'm sort of playing at the tip of the reed, sometimes I'll have notes not speak or not respond, maybe at all, which is, of course, unacceptable for a reed. It's got to work. The reed has to work. That's the rule of a reed. It's also kind of a little bit sideways. Like, this is not really the best looking reed, but we don't make reeds to look at. We make reeds to play on. I have to deal with this leak. Sometimes I will use clear nail polish to just sort of paint up the sides a little bit, but I find that to be an impermanent fix. Because the nail polish sort of wears away, sometimes it peels off. Also, it tastes bad. So I don't really love that solution. So I'm going to use some Teflon tape here, and this is just plumber's tape that you buy in the hardware store or in the hardware section of your grocery store. Like, it's a normal product and only costs like 99 cents or $1.19 or something for this little spool of it. And the nice thing here is that it's not gooey or difficult to work with. It only sticks to itself. So when I start winding it around, I just hold it here and then wrap it around. And as soon as I get it around, it will begin to stick to itself. Now, a thing to notice is that because I've wound my reed as a right-handed person, I have a little overlap over here. And I'm going to wind against that overlap just the same way that I wound the reed itself, with the goal of encouraging the blades to get tighter and tighter together. If I was struggling with this reed being too open, I might have considered winding this Teflon tape around the other way, trying to sort of encourage that overlap to help the reed to close down a little bit more. I can use Teflon tape sometimes as a substitute for wire to help a recalcitrant reed be more open at the tip. I can wrap it higher than I'm doing now, but I think that what I'm doing here will certainly seal any leaks that are happening down by the thread, and it will also help to keep these blades tightly together, so I think that will take care of any leaks up here as well. And having wrapped it, I don't wrap a ton because I don't want it to stifle the vibrations at all. I'll just trim that off, seal this on. And this reed making hack is not new to most of you. Like, lots of people know about Teflon tape or its predecessor, fish skin or gold beater skin, whatever that actually is. But I definitely have had people say to me, oh, I would never play a reed that had that tape on it because other people can see it, right? It's a visible error in the reed, and we of course don't want people to see that we have made a visible error in a reed. But to this, I really do say, whose business is this? This is your reed. It's a great reed, and sometimes even great reeds have little problems that we have to work on. I expect that now that I've wrapped it, it will be unleaky. Yep, no leak at all. That it will continue to play really well for years to come. If this Teflon tape starts getting a little ratty, I'll just peel it off and put more on. It's visible, but it's harmless. And I do not myself look askance at what other people have had to do with their reeds to make them work, because frankly, the oboe is too hard to be judgy at each other, to be awful in really any way. We're all in this together. Let's just be friends. No matter what the ugliness of your section mates' reeds is, no matter how ugly your reeds are, if you're making music together, that is the point. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker episode. You can follow these short videos right here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you wish. I hope you will. And if you need to find me to order reeds or cane, to order a copy of my new book, The Happiest Musician, or to reach out to me with a question that I could answer in a future 5-minute Reedmaker episode, you can find me at jennetingle.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.